couple of interesting stories going on right now in the prospect world. And one that's probably caught the most attention right now is the NHL's potential proposal to decentralize the NHL draft, which is to say the teams will stay at a home base or a war room somewhere. The players and media and everybody else will be at a draft. And I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. I've talked to scouts that like the idea, that hate the idea. I think that general managers, there's been a lot made about the fact that general managers go basically from NHL awards to NHL draft to free agency immediately. And that's just the way it's set up. It's a very compressed schedule. It's very difficult to kind of get everything together. Here's my thing. I think the NHL draft is one of the best drafts there is, especially the first round. I think the bringing the jersey, shaking the commissioner's hand, and then going with your new team, shaking the general manager's hand, the owner, the scouts that were out there. One of the big moments for a scout in their career is their team is making a first round pick. They're picking the player that he recommended. He's among the people that goes up onto the staff. He or she is among the people that goes up onto the dais and is able to have that moment. And I've heard many describe that as such a big part of their career and such a memorable time when you go up there and it's an area scout and you've recommended this player and they say, hey, you're part of the group coming up on stage with us. We want you to be part of it. And then you get this magical moment in your career and all that hard work that you've put in, all the time on the road, you now have that moment. Doesn't always happen, by the way. Not everybody brings up their entire, some teams will bring up almost the entire scouting staff. Some will bring up, a couple of guys. But it's usually a tell. If you ever wanted to kind of handicap who the pick might be, take a look. If you know who your area scouts are, take a look and see if they're heading up to the stage. But maybe that won't be possible anymore. And I personally think that the NHL, that's an event that the NHL gets very, very right. And it's not something that we often say about the NHL in terms of, the various things that they do. Obviously, things like Winter Classic, All-Star Game, they do the big events really well. And I think the draft is one of those things. And the change can be fine. I think, it'll be up to the owners in the end. But I do think that what the draft does in the NHL is unique to the NHL. And I don't think they should be going to rush to try to be football or baseball or any of those sports with the draft.